Guys, about Miranda rights, a few things. Let's just clear the air, shall we? How could giving a terrorist Miranda rights possibly help America? How can aiding and abetting our enemies possibly make us safer as a nation? You might have asked yourself these questions, and your liberal anti-American scum are pretty much committing treason and even considering the notion of Miranda rights. I honestly mean liberals that you're all traitors, flat out. Why would you wish to embolden and protect our enemies on any level? Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're not an American citizen. You're a citizen of the world. You hate borders or any notion of country, especially this one. And they're not our enemies. They're just misunderstood and playing for the other team. And the problem, liberal, is that your stupidity, it's not just annoying now, it's dangerous. And since, facts and history and common sense aren't on your side, you constantly pull the race card just because, well, you view the world through a distorted prism of race only. It's just sad. And you're pretty much an unworldly fool based only on ideology, no real-world experience or actions or outcomes. And since the losers in life can't be equal to the winners, they have to tear down the winners through socialism and communism to equal the losers. And what's funny, Justin? I honestly believe that liberalism is heavily seeped in self-hatred. And in L.A., have you noticed, man, there's so many self-hating whites here in L.A.?
I'm one of them.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it funny that, Hispanics have LULAC and La Raza and all these racially based organizations, and even black people have Black Panthers, Black Caucus, but the second you're white, and if you were ever to initiate any one of these groups, well, you're a Klansman instantly. You're not allowed to have a group if you're white. So where's the equality in that? That's what political correctness gets you, right?
Yeah, well, everyone knows that the blacks have a bigger caucus.
I mean, it's just funny. You ever see any white guy that tries to walk around and act like a black gangster, wearing all the clothes, these saggy-ass pants? I mean, what up, dog? Yeah, hey, what's up, dude? You're white. Live with it. What a pathetic disgrace. I see this all the time up here. And, I mean, I've met whites who literally told me they will not date whites. I mean, what kind of sick and depraved person are you to hate your own people that much? I mean, you're a true traitor in the full sense of the word at that point. You're a self-hating psychopath. All I got to say is I spit on all you traitor whites in L.A. for the same reasons I spit on, Americans who wish to give the so-called rights to terrorists. You're all liberals, and you're all traitors in some form. Your people no concept of identity or heritage or loyalty or anything even close to it. So you just let this echo in your mind. Liberal equals traitor. Repeat, liberal equals traitor. Go to hell. You're a traitor on multiple levels, self-hating psychopath, bisexual, drug addict, anti-Americans. All right, Justin, I'm done.
Long live America. You're on the air.
Hi, hello. Applebaum Goldstein. How are you?
Sorry, what did you say your name was again?
My name is Milton Applebaum Goldstein, and I just wanted to say that my husband, Stanley, and I were very offended by your last show.
Oh, really? Well, I appreciate
Thanks for listening.
I appreciate your sexual orientation as much as I appreciate you have 3 names. Milton, so what would you like to talk about? We'll give it to you due to our lack of sensitivity.
Well, there's a big difference between gays and bisexuals. And I just think that you guys should take some tolerance classes on that.
Okay, well, I'll be sure to sign up for those. Say, Milton, how do you feel about the Fed?
Literally.
About the what?
About the Federal Reserve, our topic of discussion this evening.
Well, it was my forefathers that really started all that, so I'm fine with it.
Oh, wow. So not only did we insult your sexual orientation, but we insulted your forefathers. Wow, that's a 2-for-1. We're killing like 3 birds with one stone.
So, Milton, when we say there's no federal law that requires you to pay income tax, you're okay with that?
Well, I don't really pay it anyway.
That's great, Milton. Hey, a quick question on your IRS, your 1040. Since the marriages, all got annulled and all that in our state, did you put down married or separately? Do you have to file it separately, or do you do it jointly?
Well, that's a complicated matter because, quite frankly, due to this Proposition 8, I can't divorce the prick.
All right, well, Milton, we thank you for your honesty so much.
Yeah, Milton, bisexual. Let's be on our way.
But I think what makes me sad about why the left hates religion is that if you're a religious person of any faith, you kind of believe that the truth is universal, that it's objective, absolute truth, it's ultimately from God and, of his universe. In the secular left, you say, well, truth, it's more of a postmodern and deconstructionist mentality, that it's just a social construction of reality, so nothing's really good and nothing's really bad. It's just what you make of it. The truth is relative. So like I said, that postmodern view, that 60s hippie weirdo stuff, your drugs have been in your minds for a while. I understand. You've been down in Venice Beach, getting your welfare check and spend it on a doobie.
It's a drum circle, dude.
Yeah, exactly. The drum circle means more to you than having any firm moral belief. And that's your problem. So, but the left's religion, Justin, it's a humanistic approach. It's religion of the self, where you put yourself on the same pedestal as God, which God is immaculate and perfect and conceptually far beyond most people. But then you go, well, I think the left, Justin, they worship Hollywood. It has vanity. Everywhere it gets extremely liberal, it gets extremely superficial. People don't value relationships or family.
And
you
don't
worship a
respect
false
themselves.
icon. Exactly right. So lack of faith turns out to be a form of faith. Leftists constantly abuse the word equality. Beware of this, because equality is the root and basis of communism and socialism. It sounds nice and fair, but fairness and equality are entirely different notions, yet these terms are used synonymously. America is based on fairness, not equality. As we all want fairness, as applies directly to justice, but equality does not apply directly to justice. Fairness has to do with having an equal chance to succeed, while equality is a leftist word of choice used for forced equal outcomes, most often obtained throughout very unfair means. What's fair is usually equal, but what is equal does not have to be fair. The pure evil of communism is forced equality, which must always wind up catering to societal low, seeing as not everyone can be statistically high functioning in any measure by the natural law of averages. You cannot elevate everyone to be equally as high in a society, but you can deprive people to be equally as low. Communism and socialism are what poor loser classes use to tear down the successful rich class in a society, so
Definitely.
everyone is equally as poor, not equally rich, and all under the guise of equality. Equality is an abstract notion and is conceptual only, like with equal rights for all people, but it's not functionally pragmatic with regard to real-life outcomes or expectations in the least bit. And people differ in numerous respects. We cannot all be the same. Human beings have free will, thus not everything can be all the same. It's funny, Justin, the homosexuals, they're the new protected class. Nobody's allowed to criticize them. They manage to circumvent free speech at every turn. Yet they criticize Christians in America daily. You notice that many homosexual groups are largely communist and socialist, completely despise this country, especially our traditional norms. And so all I got to say, as I've said time and time again, listeners, how does the 1% minority always wind up dictating to the 99% normal majority? Why does every religion condemn you? And why does no society accept you? You figure it out. I'm just proposing a question, right? Are you not even allowed to ask a question now? You're going to say, well, you insinuated too much, the thought police, the freedom of speech police, the Obama police.
So I tried to get, one of these federal things to lower my interest rate and all that stuff like everybody else is doing. But unfortunately, those programs apparently only benefit the irresponsible. They don't benefit the people like me who've actually made every single mortgage payment on time and in full, who have a great credit score and a good income. So in other words, I don't qualify because I make too much money and because my credit score is too good and because I haven't missed any mortgage payments.
Yeah, it is kind of a big
So how fair
joke
is
that
that?
when you need a loan modification, you have to prove a hardship that you can't pay your mortgage. But in order to get a loan mod, you have to pay an upfront fee of over $1,000. So guys like you who have paid everything, guys like me who have paid everything on a house, you can't really do anything about it. That seems pretty unfair.
Yeah, and then I get these companies who claim they can lower it, but they're not guaranteeing me anything, and they're charging like $5,000 up front, and I'm like, I'm not paying you $5,000. You can't guarantee me.
Yeah, those are the D&D companies of the mortgage industry, the due diligence companies where they accept upfront fees and then they don't do anything. They will take all your money up front and tell you, you might have a case. Oh, we think you really do, and they'll sell you on it, and then they'll take you out for 2 or 3 months and have a lawyer talk to you that they paid $300 to talk to you, and then when it comes down to it, sorry, you don't qualify for a loan mod, sir.
Good God.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, it's a big
And I
scam.
turned
If you
around. I even
qualify-
said to me, I'll pay you more than $5,000 if you get my rate reduced, but do that first, and I'll pay you afterwards.
Yeah, no, and some of the mortgage companies, they don't want to actually help you out because if you're upside down so much and they have a mortgage-backed security through a Fannie Mae guideline, they have to get up to 85% of your mortgage. So there's no point in them giving you a haircut on your loan for them to discount your loan if it's going to go any less than 85%. So if you're upside down by 20%, they actually want you to lose it because they know they'll get their money back from the Fed.
Wow.
Nice.
Tarp
Way to
that
ruin
one
my
up.
credit, too.
Well, I'm sure, sir, at home, if you were a variable interest, subprime, no money down, or a minority, one of those type lenders, an illegal alien, somehow you got some money out of that, right?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. No, man, anything else you want to add? That's a great call. Thank you.
No, that's it, guys. Have a good show.
Why is Obama imposing political correctness? Well, let's see. Because political correctness and socialism have to go hand in hand. I don't know if this is a big revelation or not, but if it is, you heard it first on Long Live America. Social communism must come before physical communism. I mean, quite honestly, Justin, I think if Obama had his way, well, let's see, they wrecked Wall Street, they wrecked Main Street. I think they want to make the world like Sesame Street. I'm dead serious. Can you picture that? That is the how shall we say, the utopia of the Obama administration.
Oh, and everyone on Sesame Street, every character gets their own way on Obamaville.
Oh, of course. You know, I think. Let's see. We'd have Bert and Ernie. They'd be your local friendly gay couple, and and Ernie's the twink, and Bert would be the bear. And they like a nice organic cup of man-ass every morning, along with their latte and poached eggs.
Yeah, soy latte.
And let's see.
The count's got to be George Soros. I mean, obviously the whole count thing, he could definitely be an Eastern European Jew from Transylvania. But he's going to be mortgaging and short-selling Sesame Street. Next thing you know, Mr. Hooper's going to be out there on the block with nothing to have, and it's going to be knocked down for condo development.
Oh, yeah, and coalescing with that, Oscar would be a pimp leasing his trash can through Acorn, with 9 Oaxacan girls. There's his prostitutes.
Sorry, still. Oaxacan, that's a good one.
Yeah, say that again 10 times in a row.
Yeah, Cookie Monster, what's he? He's my favorite. What's Cookie Monster?
He'd probably be the coke head, strung out on tweak. He's on a 420 in the morning AM meth binge, and now there's no preconditions in healthcare. He can get a policy, so I think he's actually on the ups.
Yeah. Hey, remember Telly?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say he's a manic depressive out of Zoloft. The only other characters I can think of are Snuffleupagus and Big Bird. What do you got for them?
Well, I think that Big Bird is probably a convicted child molester who was let out early thanks to your liberals in court, and he probably represents NAMBLA's Sesame Street chapter.
Yeah, I'd say Big Bird could be Nancy Pelosi, but I've already labeled her Skeletor with you last week, and Skeletor is just way too fitting.
I would say Big Bird probably had his way with Snuffy. And hello, Snuffy. Hello, Bird. Want me to make your little trunk as big as your big trunk? Maybe, Bird. Want to go behind Oscar's dumpster and I'll give you a tuggy? Yeah, Bird. So I'm just guessing. This might be Obama's fantasy. It might not. Please take it with discretion. The problem with Barack and other liberal psychology is that it's a flawed perception, constantly identifying oneself as the underdog or little guy or the victim, the have-not, and somehow ultimately the loser. This governing liberal mindset, it's usually derived from shame, self-hatred, guilt, regret, failure, always something negative. And at the end result, one's decisions most likely will function out of anger, fear, and vengeance from dismal life outcomes. And that explains the angry, communistic, revolutionary mentality of the left to destroy everything. They're in the mindset of perpetual victim, always striving to be normal by constantly advocating perverse tendencies as merely different, with no value judgment attributed. And while deep in their heart, knowing that they will never be normal and society will never accept them, it builds and ferments their anger. Consequently, they're always emotional train wrecks, forever fighting themselves and others. In case you were wondering why Venice Beach, Hollywood, and Los Angeles is the crime-ridden, drug-addicted, dark of the night, anything-goes, hedonistic lifestyle and filthy cesspool it is, well, now you know, listeners at home. Long live America, you are on the air.
If you're gay and you don't know where to stay, just come over here to Pierre's place. Sitting on my face, you little bitch.
Pierre, you always melodically entwine us. How are you doing today?
Sweet. How y'all doing?
Oh, fine. We're just sitting, hanging out, painting our nails, discussing the Second Amendment. So, Pierre, do you own any firearms?
Cap guns. Those things count?
Yeah, kind of. In West Hollywood, it might kill somebody's fashion sense, but not them, actually. So how do you feel about the Second Amendment?
Well, I got some cap guns, so if you all keep dissing on gays, I'm going to have to bring my cap gun in there and smoke all y'all.
Dread the thought. And so, Pierre, is anybody else carrying around firearms in West Hollywood?
Some people. I mean, there's one time this bum was running all up on me, and then I started leaning back. He started shooting me. I started leaning back and dodging bullets. It seemed like it was all in slow-mo, dodging bullets and swinging my arms back, and I had to come and save Morpheus.
Okay, Pierre, I cannot. When I heard Morpheus, it 100% completed my thought. I think you just took what Keanu Reeves did out of The Matrix and somehow applied it to yourself. Is that true?
Maybe. I mean, Keanu's a queen too, so might as well be, huh?
Okay, you got me there. In fact, I believe who was Keanu Reeves? Who was he allegedly married to for a while?
It was a fake marriage. It wasn't a real marriage, you stupid idiot.
Yeah, I'm the idiot, and you didn't say who it was to. Who was that to, Pierre?
Fake freaking marriage. It was fake marriage to David Geffen.
Thank you, David Geffen.
Give Keanu a career. What's
up? Okay, Pierre. Well, good luck starting that dildo factory in West Hollywood. I'm sure you'll...
need luck, Rob. I don't need luck. But thanks anyway.
I'm sure you'll achieve your life's ambition. That's wonderful. Thanks, Pierre.